What's up, wackos out there? Chore to the Max Extreme here.
Dinosaur Neil.
And Ghost Hunter Dave.
Together, we are all facets of the personalities that make up Imperius Rex.
I can't wait for the mental stigma that is going to arise on the new Moon Knight.
Moon Knight is upon us. Disney Plus.
Full Moon Horizon.
Oh,
they say.
Lordy.
Maybe they don't, because it's never a full moon in this. It's always a
It's
crescent.
always a crescent. I mean, it's a visual.
It's the opposite of a werewolf.
Yeah.
It's a quarter to a werewolf.
But it looks sharp.
Yeah, it looks real sharp.
Very
Two pointy ends.
Oh,
yeah.
boy.
Very sharp. Guys, we're talking about Moon Knight today, I guess.
Now you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
So, gentlemen, I say the word Moon Knight. What do you think? Do you think Marvel's Batman? Do you think, psychological action thriller? Do you think that is a sharp white costume? Do you think all of those?
Mostly just the costume. Yeah.
Oh, that was great.
Moon Knight, amazing looking character.
Mm-hmm.
But is there substance in it?
Oh, I don't think
Do
so.
I pose? Oh boy! Can I pose that question to you? Does this amazing graphic looking character have any substance to it, or is he the Marvel Batman's analog? Can I pose that question to all of us?
Are you saying that Batman has no substance?
No. I'm saying Moon Knight may have no substance.
Yeah, I don't think he does. I don't think any of the things we read have any substance. But I really enjoyed this.
Same.
All right.
And I almost think they should be that way.
Yeah.
So, should we just get into it?
Yes,
Have
please.
we tiptoed around it enough?
Yeah,
Unfortunately, there is one caveat that we should probably address right up top. The first book that we're going to talk about, the Moon Knight revamp, that really was responsible for kind of bringing the character back into the public consciousness, was written by Warren Ellis, longtime comic mainstay, who fairly recently has been revealed to be a bit of a shitbag in terms of a lot of sexual misconduct allegations. And we're just addressing that right up top.
Mm-hmm.
We enjoy a lot of the stuff Warren Ellis has written.
But he stinks!
But it seems like, as personal life goes, not a good guy by any means.
Yeah.
And there's been a multitude of women that have come out accusing him of terrible conduct. There's actually a website that they created.
Oh, God.
I'm going to put it up here because, in full disclosure, we're not encouraging or saying any of this is fine. We're just saying, like, this is the guy that wrote this. We're talking about the book. We like the book, but the individual has some work to do. There's a website that they have created that details all of his actions. That can be found at somanyofus.com. We're not going to go into it any more than that. We're just going to talk about the work.
Separating the art from the artist.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, like, yeah, it would be nice to be able to do that, but in this age where, like, everything in social media is, like, right in our face, and there's stuff that you just can't ignore and probably shouldn't ignore.
And more recently, he has come out acknowledging, like, yeah, I've been a bit of shitbag. Like, I'm going to try to work on it. We'll see if he does.
I love a lot of his work, but I am completely understanding if someone's like, Warren Ellis, fuck him, I don't want to read anything by him. I get it.
I get it.
Yeah, so let's talk about Moon Knight from the Dead, the relaunch from Ellis and Declan Shalvey.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just a 6-issue miniseries, kind of like an experimental
Yeah,
thing,
it really seemed like it.
which is, I guess it's very much in Ellis's style, where they're just like these little standalone snippets, these little adventures that the character goes on. They don't really tie together. There's not a whole lot of context before or after, but they are just entertaining as all get out.
It even tells you up top that you don't need to know anything about him. You could know everything or nothing. You'll like this.
Yeah.
And I know very little, and I love this book.
Yeah.
So,
You know, when he was first introduced, the phases of the moon also gave him more, like, abilities?
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know much about Moon Knight. After reading the David Finch one, I went back and wikied some stuff and was surprised at what I found.
Yeah.
My question is, I don't know if you know this, when did he develop multiple personalities?
I'm not really sure, because, like, I don't think that was, like, something that they had in mind right off the bat. I think they wanted, like, this stark, like, interesting-looking character to be just, like, this, like, Avenger of the Night or whatever. To be, like, a stark contrast between, like, the darkness and this bright white vigilante out. Like, it's an amazing idea. It's an amazing look.
Yeah.
And I think all of that, like, compiles on itself, like, how do we make him more interesting? Because all we have is this stark visual.
He's like Batman, but brighter.
Yeah. But I do like that he's got, like, a multiple personality disorder. I like that little wrinkle they've thrown in there. But in some of the stories, I don't think it is...
It doesn't... Some lean into it more than others, and by the end of the day, it's like, does this need to be multiple personalities?
Right. Like, I
kind of like the idea that, like, he's a superhero, and maybe he just has a couple different personas. They're not really, like, different personalities. He's like, well, today I'm just going to dress like Mr. Knight.
To me, if it's not, like, a fun, colorful personality, why are you putting it in a comic book? Like, he's got, like, an aristocratic personality. He's got, like, a cabbie personality. He's got, like, Mark Spector. And then also Moon Knight. Why do you have these other, like, dudes who don't accomplish anything when all I want to see is Moon Knight? Don't have any more people.
Yeah, you're not reading the book about them. But luckily, that doesn't really come into play in any of the ones we're talking about.
But it'd be like if, like, so you have a Batman book, right?
Yeah.
And you have Bruce Wayne, and then you have Matches Malone, and then you have, like, fucking, I don't know, buttfuck Barney or whatever. And then you have Batman. Who do you want to see more?
Buttfuck Barney.
Buttfuck Barney, obviously. But Batman would be a close second, right?
Yeah.
Batfuck Barney.
Batman's right by Matches Malone. Yeah,
Maybe that was a bad analogy.
You're catering to the wrong audience.
I know I am, but god damn it. That's the only thing I can come up with at the top of my head.
Alright. But, yeah, all that aside, multiple personalities. Turns out, you don't really need any of that in this. It's briefly touched on that he has dissociative identity disorder.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the first issue, you realize, oh, actually, he doesn't. He actually has some sort of mental psychosis that's pretty similar to dissociative identity disorder. To the point where I'm like, then why don't we just stick with that he has dissociative identity disorder? Why make the distinction when you also stress that, but it's essentially this. I mean, it's pretty much like this. All that out of the way. This book's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is really
And
fun.
an absolute breeze to read. Like, I read it in, like, a toilet trip, basically.
Yes.
The artwork is amazing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the storytelling, just brisk, fun, not terribly wordy or dialogue heavy.
Right.
No.
There's definitely big chunks where Ellis just lets the action carry the story.
Yeah.
And boy, does it. All these individual one-offs just feel like the best Planetary or an amazing Hellboy or like a really good Monster of the Week episode of X-Files.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like, here he is, he's dropped into this scenario, and he's gonna deal with it.
Yeah, he fights a freak in a sewer.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep. So over the course of this, Moon Knight is hunting down, like, technologically boosted ex-military people, haunted psychedelic mushrooms.
Yeah.
And
Ghosts.
punk rock ghosts. It is all across the spectrum. And for the most part, I would say like 5 out of 6 of these are top-notch, entertaining superhero reads.
Yeah.
Do we just want to get into some of our favorite moments?
Oh, yeah. First off, I love his... They just say he's got an infinite pool of blood money. Amazing. And then he doesn't
It's a
drive. He
self-driving
rides
car.
a self-driving limousine,
Yeah.
which is just awesome, by the way. Like, and I love there's one part where a guy's like ordering food. He gets in charge, like, "Hey, there's no eating in my car," and he gets all pissed off about it. But my favorite thing is like his like glider thing that he's just in sometimes and totally smashes the guy with,
He
and then
fucking
proceeds to
pulps
try
a
to
guy.
talk to this guy
Yes.
who he just pulverized on a rooftop.
Just mangles him beyond recognition.
Yeah.
Like his knee is in his ear by the end of it.
I would say, like, my favorite addition to this whole, and it's like the whole mythos of it, is the Mr. Knight persona himself.
Yeah.
It's an amazing look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can't even remember, like, the exact reason why he even need to create it anyway.
They don't explain it in this. I believe Warren Ellis introduced it in his Secret Avengers run that was right before
Oh,
this.
did he?
So he did show up in this persona prior to this, and I've never read it, but it immediately made me want to read it. I'm like, oh fuck, he does Moon Knight in that first? But
It's
he
like-
must have liked it so much, he's like, yeah, I can do 6 issues. I don't know why only 6. He's like, alright, I'm good. Like, this feels like you could go on forever with this. Any idea you come up with, you could do a Moon Knight on.
I
Yeah.
want to say I heard it was something like Moon Knight got, like, you can't do any vigilanteism or whatever. You can't be a costume superhero. So he's like, okay, well, I'm just going to dress up in a regular suit and a mask. And I'm not going to do any vigilanteism, but I'm going to punch people.
Yeah.
And I can because I'm in a suit. And that's a regular thing people wear. Like,
And if they get punched, that's their own fault. I'm just gonna stand here and do this. I'm just gonna solve crimes with my fist, and if they get hit, that's on them.
but, like, it's such a good fucking look.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
God, it's so good that they're incorporating it into the Moon Knight series for Disney
Yeah.
Plus, and it, like, recently happened.
Oh yeah, I feel like everything that they put in the new series pretty much stemmed from this.
Oh,
You
yeah.
have the Mr. Knight look, you have the skeletal bird shoe
Yes,
look.
yep.
I mean, those are the big takeaways from this, and they're like, yeah, that's what we want to make our Moon Knight on.
And the suit look got even better when they do that raid style issue
Oh,
where he goes through
God.
and then he's got like the coat off and the
Oh, yeah, the
sleeves,
sleeves
rolled,
rolled
up,
up.
and he's just
Oh, yeah.
fucking clocking guys.
Golly.
Holy!
God, are we all buying white suits?
I
now?
think
very
we
fucking
are.
God damn, that issue, I think it's issue 5,
Yeah.
is a standout among standouts in this, where it is just the raid,
Yeah.
but with Moon Knight, where he, like, finds there's this kidnapped girl on the 6th floor of this just drug den apartment building, and he just has to fight, like, 12 dudes as he goes up the steps to get her. And it is just, like, a non-stop fight sequence through the whole thing, pretty much in real time.
Yeah.
And Jesus Christ, does the artist have a chance to shine on
Oh,
this.
yeah.
You can just feel the motion and the impact, and it's still frames, but you see it move between the panels
Yeah.
there.
I think this is the first time I've ever seen Declan Shalvey, like, when this came out.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've seen Declan Shalvey on anything. And I instantly was like, I need to watch for him. I need to
Yes.
see his name in more things.
Yeah.
There is a moment where he's fighting these dudes in the apartment. This guy rounds the corner, and Moon Knight just fucking batons him in the ankle, breaks his ankle, and then, like, picks him up and, like, throws him on a
On
banister.
the banister, on his
It just
spine.
snaps his back in half, and then he slides down the railing to the bottom. Like, god damn, that is great.
One of the funniest panels that I like just laughed at audibly is like there's like one last guy and he like throws one of his moon things into his foot and it sticks in his foot and then he just falls down the stairs and
Yes.
dies. It's just great.
How about that issue where he suits up in the bones of fallen Egyptians and then punches pieces off of a bunch
Oh,
of punk rock ghosts?
It's such a bizarre issue because
And
like
it's never explained.
no, because it's like they're just for all we know real ghosts. And you're just like, I can't hurt them. And then he's like, well, you probably bought this thing years ago that could help you fight them. He's like, okay, I'll put this on.
I don't remember buying this.
Yeah.
Must have been one of my other personalities.
And then he just goes and kills him. That's it. It's pretty great.
And then just literally punches these ghosts to pieces. Like, punches one of their heads in half.
Yeah.
Punches their side off.
Yeah.
Amazing.
In the new series, he doesn't dress in bones. and punches people's sides off, I'm going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
There's another issue that I really enjoyed where he has like this psychedelic trip where he goes to investigate. These people are having horrible dreams.
Yeah, they have like a singular horrible dream where they end up like harming themselves in that dream.
Yeah, so he goes and investigates and finds out this doctor was doing like a sleep study on people there, and one guy died when he had this like chemical in him that the doctor injected him with. The doctor just buried him under the floorboards, and then all these mushrooms began to grow into the dead man's brain. And whatever, like, psychedelic thing he injected him with mixed with the mushroom spores, and they've just been, like, going into the air, and everyone's been breathing them in.
Yeah.
And Moon Knight realizes this after he goes through this just insane LSD trip. And he's like, yeah, you've been breathing in a dead man's dreams.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. It's messed up. I think that had like one of my favorite like 3-panel sequences where he wakes up, immediately walks in and smashes this guy's face onto his desk. It's just incredible.
Oh, these all end so matter-of-factly and abruptly, too, where it's just like, alright, and now he's done writing it. Like, there's not a whole lot of resolution, it's just like, we get it, we get the gist. They're very Hellboy, where it's just like, alright, that's that.
That's that.
Yep,
Yeah.
Justice is served.
This does continue after this for like 2 more trades.
Yeah.
With Declan Shalvey on art, but a different writer.
No, it's different artists, too.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Yeah, Greg Smallwood does the second one with Brian Wood. It's a very woody combo there. And for whatever reason, Brian Wood is also a writer that was accused of a bunch of misconduct. I don't know what it is about Moon Knight. I guess they only come out at night. But that's out there too. But that one, it goes into a more long-form storytelling, and it, like, I read it, and it didn't trip my trigger the same way Ellis's did.
Mm-hmm.
The artwork saves it, though.
The artwork is
so good.
great. Like, I was flipping through it right before the show, and I know I've read it before, but, like, I didn't read it since it came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, yeah, I remember kind of liking this, but I don't remember if I really just appreciated the art for it.
Yeah, the main story is, like, Moon Knight's psychiatrist actually takes up the mantle of Khonshu to get revenge on this, like, military general that just wrecked her village back, like, in Africa as a child. And Mark Spector loses the mantle of Moon Knight for a while, but then, like, gets it back and just, you know, wins the day at the end.
Sure.
And it was just one of those where it's like, it seems a little out of character because she wants to kill this general, and he's like, no, we gotta bring him to justice. And I'm like, dude, you were just fucking smearing people on a rooftop. Like,
Justice? You were out for vengeance before.
Yeah.
When did you switch to justice?
it didn't seem like him at all. It's like, just fucking kill this guy. He's terrible. Like, just let her get her vengeance or whatever and move on with it. But there is one standout issue where the entire thing is shown through video cameras. Like, it's through cell phone cameras, news footage, Moon Knight's drones, security cameras. That's all the visuals are. And it's this terrorist takes control of the World Trade Center, and Moon Knight, like, climbs up there and, like, goes through the vents and then breaks in and beats the shit out of him and saves the people. But the entire thing is just, like, being recorded. So it's a really interesting way of showing that story. But overall, it was lacking in, like, just that adrenaline-fueled ride that the first volume was. And then after that, Cullen Bunn took over, which we just read Harrow County on Halloween.
Yep.
And I think that is a great book that Bunn did. And I think everything else I've read from him is not good at all. And this is no different. I just feel like he's on so many books, both like his own independent stuff, and then he wrote a ton of Marvel books, and they just all feel like the most generic, like, phoned in dialogue. And, like, the Moon Knight, he's out of character. It goes back to the one-off storylines, and he fights the boogeyman in one, he fights a bunch of, like, jetpacked criminals in another, but it just, like, it feels like a shadow of what the first volume was. And then that's it before Jeff Lemire relaunches it. which maybe we will get to at a later date.
Yeah, I've never touched on the Lemire one, and I've actually never touched on the Cullen Bunn one either, so I couldn't comment on it. But
It's pretty forgettable, unfortunately, but
That's
I
too
am
bad.
intrigued by Lemire. I feel like maybe the show might pull a lot from Lemire, too.
Okay.
Nice.
And it has Smallwood back, so he was one of those talents that they're like, you know what, we had a good thing going here. Let's get him back
Let's
on
keep
board.
it going. What is the first, real Moon Knight that you've ever read, Dave?
I think it's the same one you read.
Okay.
So that would be the, it was early 2000s. The Charlie Huston penned, David Finch drawn Moon Knight the Bottom.
Yeah.
That David Finch stuff, that is drilled into my head.
Right.
That Moon Knight look.
This might be
It's
top
gnarly.
of David Finch game.
Yeah.
It is pristine. It is amazing David Finch.
Top
art for
Finch.
this.
I feel like that was the spawn of its time when that came out. Would you disagree with
No,
that?
I
it
can't.
is
I
that's
can't.
fucking gritty and brutal, and it's this brooding hero fighting in the alleys. That was Spawn.
Yes. And it even makes it even more spawny by the fact that I'm reading this and it's a number 1 of a Moon Knight, and I'm I feel like I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Very true.
I'm going back and reading this, I'm I'll just fall right back into it. I've read it before. I'm what the fuck is going... I feel like I missed out on an entire trade's worth of things.
Somehow I know less about Moon Knight after reading this.
I went in going okay, I know Moon Knight. He's Spirit of Vengeance of Khonshu. He's got multiple personalities. Let's go.
Yeah.
And I feel like I went in feeling like a total dimwit. Because Charlie Huston is playing on things
He goes
should
far back.
should I know this?
I think he's a novelist.
Yes.
He's a pulp crime novelist.
Yes.
And obviously a longtime Moon Knight fan. Because he's referencing shit from back in the Sinkowitz era of Moon Knight.
Yeah, his origins.
Yeah. And it's so fragmented, which works for this character because he's crazy.
Yeah.
So you're all right, I'm getting pieces of this. Should I understand this? Or is the point of it not to know clearly what is going on? And by the end of it, I feel okay, I think I got enough of this that I can say after that first arc, that was good. I understood it. I don't really need more. But I did really like that chunk.
I would think for a majority of this, I was waiting for more, I guess, Moon Knight isms to be in it, where he was trying to take a really dark turn on the character, a really dark spin. I was looking for him.
He was already pretty damn dark.
He was.
It was all, the whole thing was essentially flashbacks.
No, I know, but I think it's Charlie Huston's twist on his history to make it darker.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because he pretty much turned out to be kind of Punisher-esque.
Mm-hmm.
Where he's I'm this old mercenary that, turned against my partner, and now I'm fucking a crazy superhero that dresses in white, and my partner is my fucking nemesis, or whatever.
Yeah.
The Bushman.
Yes. And he's also, in the current time, as the story's playing out, he is, just beat to shit.
Yes.
He's in a wheelchair, his body is broken, and he's crazy.
Yes.
And all of his friends have left him, so he's alone, and he's haunted by memories of his past, which put him in the chair and pretty much made him hang up the mantle of Moon Knight.
Mm-hmm.
And it was this fight with Bushmen, where they I think it was the second issue. It's a full drag out fight for the majority of the issue, which is brutal. And it culminates in them both going over a building, Moon Knight busting his knees on every fire escape on the way down, laying there in a mangled heap, and then eventually getting the better of Bushman and fucking carving his face off.
Yeah.
And raising it in the air as an offering to Khonshu.
Yeah.
And you're fuck. Marvel
me.
printed this. Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
What a take on
Yeah.
this character that, like, at this time, no one knew two shits about Moon Knight.
I don't think there's been a Moon Knight
Probably
book.
since, like, the 80s.
Exactly. Not for, like, at least a decade there hasn't been
Yeah.
a Moon Knight book.
And
this
they're
is
like,
the
this
first
is how we're
introduction.
going in.
Yeah,
Hit the
we're
ground
going in
running.
hard and dark.
Yeah.
He's going to be busting his legs and carving faces off.
But as gritty and edgy as that was, I really liked it. I thought that was like, that is a pretty good take on this fucked up superhero.
Going back this time, I liked it a bit less than I remembered.
Oh, really?
Yeah. For whatever reason, I thought there was more, like, of his other personalities in it.
I don't think there's any.
And no, there's not. For whatever, they make mention of them, but I thought there was more of them, and there is barely any of them in there. I would say zero.
Yeah.
They make mention, I think, in, like, one issue. It's like, oh, you're, like, aristocratic at some points and, like, man of the people at other points.
Mm-hmm.
And other times you're just Mark Spector, a guy who's got busted legs sitting in this room.
Yeah, and throughout this, he's being haunted by, like, the ghost of Bushman, who is actually kind of like the avatar of Khonshu through this.
Yeah, kind of.
He's kind of the embodiment of the Egyptian god that is, like, his master.
Yeah.
And at the same time, there's this agency that has hired the Profile. That's his name, right? The Profile? Not the Profiler. The Profile. Who, this guy that just, like, knows every angle. He can, like, determine exactly how everyone's going to behave.
Yeah.
And he's setting them up to be able to, like, just take Mark Spector off the board. Like, he's already broken, let's get him out of here so we can go on with our nefarious plans. It is a very vague, like, evil agency type of scenario.
And it's weird that they want him off the board, right? Because, like...
he's off the board. He's in a chair, guys. He hasn't Moon Knighted in quite a while.
In a long time.
But they're setting that all up for the big takedown. And then some agency stooge just fucks it all up.
Yeah.
And, like, messes up the entire Profile. So they have to bring in the Taskmaster, another aptly named character for this scenario, who starts off by just killing that stooge with a couple Bic pens to the eyes. And then going after Moon Knight and getting his ass handed to him. And then Moon Knight is back in action. He's like, all right, you pulled me out of retirement. I'm going to get back into the fray. And ends up flying his Moonmobile into the agency's window.
Yeah.
And, like, making Taskmaster just cower in his boots as Moon Knight just stands over him, tears his mask off, and I'm assuming, is this, like, the first reveal of Taskmaster's face?
I've never known him without his skull mask.
Yeah.
I would say, like, he doesn't have a face to carve off, because I assume that's just
It's
his
just a
face.
skull!
Yeah. But he's just some big old pussy. No! And just basically leaves him at that. He's like, don't fuck with me, I'm back in the saddle.
Yeah.
I'm out of here. And then leaves his Moonmobile just smoking in their window. And that's it. Like, there isn't a whole lot to this arc other than just, like, the insanity of the flashbacks that led him to where he is.
Yeah.
And then this just culminates in him getting kind of his act together, like reconnecting with his partners and friends that he relied on when he was in the Moon Knight persona.
Yeah.
If this was drawn by someone else, I don't know if it would have the same impact. I think this
I
is
would say-
remembered because of the David Finch artwork,
Yes.
and he fucking shines
He
in it.
kills it.
Other than I hate how he draws people's noses, where
Yeah.
everyone looks like Marv from Sin City. There's
Yeah.
no distinction
Yeah.
between their brow and their nose.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it is
He
fantastic.
draws a killer Moon Knight. But yeah, this put definitely Moon Knight on the map for me anyway. This is what made me like say like, oh shit, he's back in a big way, I guess.
Yeah.
And then never show up after this for a while. 'Cause
Yeah.
I can't remember if this title goes on or not.
Apparently this ran for like 30-something issues.
Did it?
Yes. And I looked it up and I was like, what the fuck happened in this? And then it like went into Civil War and it got convoluted with that. And then I don't know where, I read the wiki on it like yesterday and I've already forgotten it because it didn't sound interesting at all. I was like, I guess I'm probably good on this. Finch left, I think, shortly after.
Oh yeah.
So that was that. But like, well, they gave him a relaunch. I mean, he seems like the character that's just destined for relaunches. So, as we wind down here, gun to your head, gun to your balls.
Okay.
Favorite Moon Knight look?
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I'm kind of fond of, like, the whole cape and cowl look, but I like the black incorporated.
Mm-hmm.
The stark white look is good, but I like the contrast of color.
Gun to your balls here. Someone's gonna punch
I'm
pieces
gonna-
on the balls.
God.
I'm sticking with that answer.
Wow.
What was your answer?
The one I just said. I like the cape, the hooded.
Like that one?
Yes, that look right there.
You know what? This might surprise you. That's my favorite too.
It's a good look.
I love the white suit. I will. If you say the white suit,
I'm
I
gonna
will
say the
applaud.
white suit.
All right, I'm glad the white suit is incorporated
Yep.
in this because it's a fantastic look.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, for a superhero look, that is a fucking awesome look.
Yeah,
The
it is.
black.
But that David Finch all white fucking look is still
pretty great, too.
really good.
And it looks so comfy. It almost looks like Midnighter's coat when it's drawn by Frank Quietly. It just looks soft and plush.
Welted.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if in that book he's got those like knuckles that are just fucking spikes?
He punches just a thug, like a carjacker, in the face with spiked knuckles.
Yeah.
Oh my
And they're
God.
like an inch long.
Yes.
They would kill you immediately.
It would go from one end of your head to the other.
They're like Wolverine claws, pretty much.
Yeah, with an extra one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Better than Wolverine.
right. Maybe you'll think twice about carjacking in your next life.
Oh, this was your
Praise
car?
Khonshu.
The
Yes.
guy behind you was the bad guy? Oh shit, I punched the shit out of you instead.
I'll go punch the shit out of him, I guess.
I'll drive my plane into him. Oh my lord. But yeah, Moon Knight, great character. Like,
Yeah.
whatever I read from it's pretty good.
Yeah, and he's not someone that like is consistently putting out books that I feel like when we get a Moon Knight, there's usually a reason for it. Like
Yeah.
they've got a take on Moon Knight that
Yes.
they're ready to share with
Yes.
us, and it's usually a pretty good read.
Yeah.
And also, they usually don't last very long.
Right,
so
yeah.
like you can jump in, jump out when you're ready to be done, and it probably isn't going a whole lot after that.
Yeah, and I like that there's characters like that. Like, for a while, like, Thor was a character like that. Like,
Yeah.
I only have this run to tell, and then I'm going to be just in Avengers books.
Yeah.
But, like, no, Moon Knight has never been like that. He's
No.
like, I'm going to have, like, a 12-issue run, and then I'm going to be gone for 20 years.
Yeah.
Moon Knight.
Moon
What a
Knight.
guy.
What a guy.
Cool.
And a guy. And a guy. And a guy.
Wow.
Can't wait to see what the take is on Disney Plus. Looks
Mhm.
great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
You probably won't be punching sides off or holes in heads.
But what do you guys think about Moon Knight? Let us know in the comments down below. What's your favorite Moonlight look?
Mm.
Oh.
Mm.
Let us know.
Ooh.
Let's see. We'll do a poll.
Oh.
And if you enjoyed this, do you want to see us cover that Lemire run? Because I'm itching to do it. I'm hot off the Moon Knight Express here, and we might as
Okay.
well just see it through to the
Okay.
to the final terminal.
Okay.
But before we do that, we have something a bit more pressing. Another Dark Avenger.
Oh God.
Oh,
Another
my
Dark
God.
Knight
Oh.
that is coming up hot on our heels.
Oh my God.
That's right, Batyear.
That's right. We said it.
We're doing another Batyear. It's
We're
a Batyear
doing-
Returns.
Oh my God.
We're doing it.
I don't know how long it's gonna last.
Mm-hmm.
Might outlast us. We'll see.
Wow. Oh shit.
Good thing we have kids to take over the mantle.
That's right. Kids will be sitting in an armchair bleeding out, and a Batman book will land on the bust of our heads.
If you would like to join us, you are more than welcome to do so through our Patreon. Because at any tier level, you get access to our Discord, and that's where the action is happening.
That's right. You
is
can
it
help
ever?
us fight crime.
That's right.
Literally clean up the streets.
We go
Yeah.
out after this and beat people up.
That's
I don't
right.
know if you know that.
Criminal or otherwise.
They all say they're not. But, I mean, if you ask me, that is exactly how the
That's-
criminal mind operates.
And if you would like to also purchase some merch, you can also do so on redbubble.com. But We got Batyear coming up. Hot.
We got bat
After
stuff.
this.
We got bat stuff to do.
Bat
Yeah.
stuff to
Hop
talk
in,
about.
losers. We're doing bat stuff.
Yeah.
But until we do bat stuff, I've been Troy to the Max Extreme.
I've been Dinosaur Neil.
And I've been Ghost Hunter Dave.
And together, we formed...
Wait. I've been Ghost Puncher Dave.
Wow!
Punching pieces off.
And we've been IMPERIUS REX. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Why isn't that a book, though? Moon Knight versus, Moon Knight crossing over with Tomb of Dracula.
Yeah.
Why isn't that a property?
Should be.
Or, like,
Double down on the meme. Make it a thing.
Oh, isn't there like a Midnight Suns kind of quasi-Marvel thing that has
Yeah.
like Blade and Moon Knight and Ghost Rider and Morbius?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Why the fuck isn't that a book right now?
for real.
Oh my, I think...
To get Dracula for that fucking money!
Blaine's there got Dracula dead to rights, and Moon Knight's like, hold on, bitch, he owes me money!